Teacher Talking Sports, what it does, what it do, how we live in. I've started previewing the NBA playoff series. I've done 3 of 8, trying to do all 8 first round matchups before the opening round tips off on Saturday. So today, this morning, we are going to look at the 4-5 matchup in the Eastern Conference playoffs between the Indiana Pacers, who have home court advantage, against the Milwaukee Bucks. So we see Pacers finished 2 games better in the regular season than the Bucks. Now, I was waiting to do this one because I wanted word on Damian Lillard. Will he be ready? Of course, blood clots in his calf sidelined him to end the regular season. We know he will at least not start the playoffs. He will not be ready for the beginning of the playoffs. I'm going to go with the assumption that he does not play in this series. Now, I could be wrong. We will see, but I just wanted to let that known. But we see anyhow. So both teams finished in the top 10 offensive rating. Both teams towards the middle of the pack in defensive rating, and net ratings very close as well. So similar when you look at those numbers. Now, the Bucks are actually the best three-point shooting team in the NBA. Have numerous players in their rotation who shoot over 40%. They shot 38.7% as a team. Pacers, of course, one of the best shooting teams, top 10 in field goal, 3-point, and free throw percentage. Neither team is very good at rebounding the ball. The Pacers are superb at not only dishing the ball, but not turning the ball over frequently as well. So the Bucks did win 3 of 4 in the season series. We'll see if that means anything come playoff time. So let's take a look at the projected starters. And yes, with Damian Lillard out of the lineup, the Bucks have been going with Ryan Rollins. Now, I should have mentioned the Bucks have actually won 8 games in a row entering the playoffs. So, they found a way to do it even without their second scorer, Dame Dollar. Meanwhile, the Pacers actually have the 4th best record in the NBA since January 1st, only behind the 3 teams that are considered the heavy favorites to win the title. I'm talking about the Thunder, Cavs, and Celtics. But so even without Lillard, they found a way to win. A lot of Giannis. I believe he has back-to-back weeks where he was named Player of the Week. Kyle Kuzma, of course, acquired for long-time player on Milwaukee. Chris Middleton. Kuzma has not shot the ball efficiently, just as was the case with the Bucks. You see Taurean Prince, a low usage guy, but was one of the top 3-point shooters in the NBA this season. Rollins also shoots over 40%, albeit on somewhat limited volume. Meanwhile, for the Pacers, Tyrese Halliburton, what a season after the All-Star break. Did not make the All-Star game, but the potential is there to possibly be named an All-NBA player. 9.2 assists compared to just 1.6 turnovers. And I should mention the averages you see are points per game, rebounds per game, assists per game, steals per game, and blocks per game for all of them. Pacers got off to a slow start, and that was due in part to both Nembhard and Aaron Nesmith missing a bunch of time. Nembhard went off in a few playoff games last year, could definitely be an X factor. Pascal Siakam, of course, the team's second best, really their best scorer, I should say. Maybe their second best player is what I should say. The Pacers also a good 3-point shooting team, 9th in the league. And most of Aaron Nesmith shot 43.1%. Miles Turner, you see the center, definitely a stretch big, as is Brook Lopez, although Turner was a little more accurate with the 3 ball. So let's also take a look at their reserves. So for these videos, I go 5 deep on both teams' benches. Now, we know most playoff rotations, a lot of teams go to probably 8 or 9, so I'm not saying all these guys play, but the Bucks did receive Bobby Portis back maybe with 2 or 3 games left in the regular season. Of course, he had a 25-game suspension, and the Bucks were really missing size behind Brook Lopez because Jericho Sims was also hurt. I'm not sure if Jericho Sims will be ready for the beginning of this series as he had thumb surgery, but possibly he could find a way to get minutes, although I don't think that's likely. With Portis back, Gary Trent Jr., and Kevin Porter Jr., both two more guys who shot over 40% from three for the Milwaukee Bucks, as did AJ Green. I just wonder if AJ Green's minutes will dip a bit because more of a defensive liability than any of these other guys. But Pat Connaughton, I listed him over a guy like Andre Jackson, who started so much. 43 games Andre Jackson started, but Connaughton ended the season, I know, in a meaningless game with a career-high 43 points, which is actually 19 more than he ever had in his 10-year career. Of course, a guy with championship experience was a part of their 2021 team and played nearly 24 minutes per game in that postseason run. So you wonder if Doc Rivers gives him a chance to play in this series. Meanwhile, for the Pacers, few guys who they can definitely rely on, especially those top three. Benedict Mathurin wasn't even part of, was hurt for last year's postseason as the Pacers reached the Eastern Conference Finals, so it'd be great having him back. One of the top scorers off the bench, Obi Toppin, has been their 6th, 7th man since being acquired from the Knicks 2 years ago. TJ McConnell, just that crafty veteran. Game not based on athleticism, but somehow always finds a way into the paint. I think those three guys definitely play. Ben Shepherd did play in last season's postseason as well. Will Jarris Walker get a little bit of time? I could have listed Walker or Thomas Bryant, who would be a backup big, but I'm not really sure if either of them will play. Thomas Bryant, not much of a rim protector either, so you wonder if Rick Carlisle would give him an opportunity. So yes, this series, the 4-5 between the 4-seeded Indiana Pacers and 5th-seeded Milwaukee Bucks. So if I go to DraftKings Sportsbook, the Indiana Pacers are listed at -200 favorites. The Bucks are +160. Now, I think the Pacers were favored, but to a lesser extent before yesterday's news that Damian Lillard would miss at least the start of the playoffs. And again, maybe he comes back. As a basketball fan, I certainly do hope he comes back. But this video kind of is under the assumption that he won't come back. And I don't expect them back at least in the next, first I'd say 3 or 4 games. So, again, we'll see what happens. But in the end, again, my prediction, believing that Damian Lillard won't come back, I'm going to say the Pacers in 6. And I really think I was going to go with the Bucks if Lillard was around to play. This is a rematch of last year's first-round matchup where, of course, the Bucks had Giannis missed time, Lillard missed time, and the Pacers won in 6. I think the Bucks might have avenged that if they had a full squad, but much like why I didn't pick the Nuggets, I picked the Clippers. Giannis just isn't going to have enough help, and if that is the case, the Bucks get eliminated. Might be an interesting offseason. People are going to speculate if Giannis is happy in Milwaukee, because the team really has had little success, especially in the postseason, since they won their championship in 2021 with Doc Rivers survive. We've seen a championship-winning coach fired with 3 games remaining in the regular season, and Mike Malone, Taylor Jenkins, the best coach in Grizzlies franchise history. After 2 straight first-round losses, albeit with not full-strength teams, would the Bucks decide to move on from Doc Rivers? But should be an exciting series. Anyhow, don't forget to subscribe. Tell a friend, tell a friend, tell a friend to subscribe. Like the video, share the video, hit the bell for notifications. I'm out.